This meme of the day is brought to you by... Does this mean SpongeBob's devil cry?
Wasn't there like a meme a long time ago of SpongeBob as Sephiroth though?
Oh my god, yeah. It's just the Sephiroth theme. Well, I think when the remake came out, they even did a redone of it through the remake.
Oh god. Thank you again to Yang the Insane for this meme of the day, and all the green screen memes y'all posted.
Final Fantasy VII's remake's a fucking masterpiece. More people need to play it. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest episode of Lads Discuss Death Battle. Diving on into the bottom of the sea and living in a pineapple is your only mate. Yeah, we'll get around to that, mate, don't worry. And communicating with all the sea beast of the ocean is Shawnee.
Wow, I tried my best to make a case for somebody against the Toon Force character.
Yeah, so, people, we are discussing SpongeBob SquarePants vs. Aquaman, and yeah, maybe we gave Aquaman a bit too much credit, because he got completely destroyed. Yeah.
You know it's bad when he had the same amount of advantages as Harley, which is 1. Homelander had 2.
Do you not? I think in the saddest way, Harley Quinn is probably stronger than Super Friends Aquaman. Okay, so yes, we're going to talk about SpongeBob vs. Aquaman and the next time. But before we do get around to that, we should probably say the result of our Heracross vs. Scizor debate, and it's a tie. So
somehow the poll on Twitter tied.
That is...
Yeah, like, the poll on Twitter was a tie. But I think everyone else voted Heracross.
For what I saw in the chat, most people went for Scizor.
Yeah, but Buddha won, Victor go to spoil. Hooray for Heracross.
Wait, would you... No, it's a tie. See, I'm starting to think these guys are really biased against Heracross. Even if it's a tie, they still say my favorite Pokemon loses. I'm starting to think my whole joke about them despising me is starting to seem more true.
Who voted who? I was going by who voted who in the video. But I will say this. I think Bill and I agreed on this. We thought that Scizor would sweep that poll.
Honestly, I really thought so. Like, I thought Scizor was way more popular. And yeah, so people, I guess... In terms of debate-wise, yeah, Heracross won against, like, the vote. Although I will say, makes Pokemon knowledge kind of, I think, kind of played a part in why he went with the wrong answer, just saying. Because it turns out Yang Insane corrected him, saying, steel types are neutral on fighting types, not ineffective.
Well, stuff happens.
I don't have every single type matchup memorized. I mean, how many types are there in Pokemon and all the advantages and disadvantages to consider?
That is a lot, to be fair. And it's just like, this was like a more spur of the moment thing, but y'all seem to really enjoyed it. Like, it spiked up like the past few days.
Yeah, and even though Mate and Sean and ZDogg were very biased against me, I understand where I stand on this food chain. But anyway, though, let's move on to the comments.
To be fair to me, I had to defend Heracross, so of course I'm going to be biased towards Heracross.
Okay, Sean's more forgiven, Mate and ZDogg not so much, but ZDogg's kind of...
used to it.
ZDogg's kind of dead now. Don't worry, people. He was resurrected after the end of that episode. I think I might have went a bit too hard on the blood effect there. I actually forgot to remove it at the end of it as well. That wasn't intentional, that blood on the end screen. So, sorry, ZDogg.
Dark ending aside, you said you had comments?
Yes. So, first comment I thought out from Janaside. Oh, Jan, I see what you did there. That was clever. Janaside said, everyone could stop, this is the best version of this meme, which was my Henry Stickmin distracted meme. I'll be honest, I probably laughed more at the name of this person than the actual comment. Thank you, Janaside. Thanks for the laughs. Fireball RKO, still the best name in the comments. I'm surprised you didn't reference the biggest elephant, Silver's voice actor's name. I'm not even going to try that. AKA, spelled out backwards, and I think you can guess who they got. Still happy to hear ZDogg joining the lads this time. I don't know, I thought the person, I don't know, he sounded familiar, but I'm not sure who it is. Who knows, maybe he's voiced Silver in the past in some other fan projects, like Mate said.
Or who knows, maybe he's also the voice of a couple anime protagonists, one of which I know quite well.
Yeah, I think it's just a coincidence of the naming.
Wink, wink.
Very subtle. When are we ever subtle? From the Purple Demon, the best type of demon. What would be the best episode of Season 9? SpongeBob Aquaman. Am I going to do the rest of the song? No, I will not. Listen, Purple Demon, if you write a full lyrics to this and sing it to us, we'll play it on the next lads.
Do it. You'll win meme of the day instantly.
Yeah, that's meme of the day, right?
I almost wonder if we should combine that with what Torok did in his reaction.
You think we should just
Maybe
we should just make a compilation of like everyone parried in the SpongeBob opening. Alright, I'm gonna skim through the next few comments because we gotta get to the episode itself. I like this comment. Seaspadinner, Starshock, and Yang Insane kind of had a bit of fun in our live chat. Seaspadinner, welcome to the salty spittoon. How tough are you? Yang the Insane, how tough am I? I watched all the Disney movies. Starshock, yes, so. Yang, including the remakes. I'm sorry, go on ahead. You know what? If you could sit through the remakes, especially the Pinocchio remake, you deserve to be in the salty spittoon.
Pinocchio was not as bad as Mulan. The Mulan remake was the worst.
Wait.
I haven't watched any of them.
Oh, do you know? Oh, yeah. I have seen the Mulan remake, and it's a guilty pleasure, but Pinocchio was cringe. Just saying. Anyway, last comment from Yang Insane, and this was on my reaction that only just came up before this discussion. Is it me, or does Bill have similar teeth to SpongeBob? Fuck you, Yang! How about that?
Well, listen to this. C for dinner later said that he thought it was Timmy Turner.
Well, fuck you as well, C for dinner! You know what? You and Yang, take my middle fingers up your butt, alright? You both suck. You're banned from the channel, you dickheads.
I mean, knowing one of them, they might enjoy that.
Wow, man.
This conversation got weird. Hey, everyone watching, like, share, and subscribe if you think this is weird.
First I got bullied by these guys on Heracross vs. and now I'm getting bullied in the comments. Fuck this.
Today's National Pick on Bill Day.
Oh, fuck this. I retire. Alright.
Well, now suddenly replacing Bill. Please welcome back here, everybody.
Fuck off. Alright, let's get on to the episode. Okay, so SpongeBob versus Aquaman. And now technically, Super Friends Aquaman. However, honestly, after the analysis, does it really matter which Aquaman they put up against him?
Probably not.
Nah, okay, but I do want to make this clear. According to a lot of people in the verse community, they do say comic book Aquaman does in fact win. It's just that, or at least probably even, I think this universe feat came out quite recently on SpongeBob, so, unfortunate for Super Friends Aquaman. Okay, so if you guys saw my reaction, you would notice that it seemed like I did have some issues with the episode. I did not. This episode, okay, well, I do. But did I hate this episode? No, absolutely not. As this was probably the funniest episode we've had this season, and honestly, I think compared to the last joke episode we had last year with Kool-Aid Man versus Randy Savage, this fight was brilliant. The amount of references to both franchises. Obviously, I feel like there was more SpongeBob love put into this than Aquaman, to be honest.
I mean, I haven't watched Super Friends, so I can tell, like, yeah, there's more SpongeBob love.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and obviously, now, some people were wondering if they were going to composite SpongeBob, because people tend to say the games aren't canon to the SpongeBob series, but honestly, SpongeBob's one of those cartoons where it's so inconsistent that you just have to kind of just assume it's all canon. Like, apparently, Battle for Bikini Bottom is not canon, but it's like, well, he can still do all those things, and technically those robots have appeared in the show before.
It's like Mario, it has no canon.
Yeah, like... But here's the thing, though, like, sure, if you were to really count into everything that's non-canon in SpongeBob, he still destroys Aquaman, and like, he pulled the universe apart. Like, that's not smart. And also, I like the fact, I did kind of bring this up when I was defending SpongeBob. I love the fact that he brought up that whole ocean feat, which I thought was slightly more powerful, but even then, even a minimal calculation of it was pretty, pretty broken. The one where he vacuumed the entire ocean up. The moment I saw that thing, I was like, okay, so not as powerful as I thought in my discussion, but it's still already looking way more powerful than I realized. And
the best way I can describe the SpongeBob analysis is something Mate said in the last podcast session. Toon Force, go burr.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, basically, kind of.
And they also okay, there were a few things I wasn't sure about when it came to SpongeBob's arsenal. Like, for instance, the Krabby Patty thing. SpongeBob isn't carrying Krabby Patties on him, so I'm not sure that whole resistant mind control would really work. Or, find it off with a Krabby Patty, because, SpongeBob kind of needs a cooker to be able to make one. But even then, looking into Aquaman's analysis, I don't really think it mattered, because Aquaman can't control the sea creatures.
Nah, SpongeBob could just ignore it.
Yeah. I mean, SpongeBob's ignored mind control before. Not Aquaman, Mermaid Man tried it on him once, and he was like, great Neptune, he resisted! So, it's understandable to believe, SpongeBob wouldn't be mind controlled. Now, okay, my gripe with the analysis, it was funny for a lot of SpongeBob fans, but did you guys feel like they were a bit too mean-spirited towards Aquaman? Like, I kind of get he's the joke of the...
A little bit, because, like, it's fine doing it, like, in, like, sprinkles, but then it's just too much at certain points.
Yeah, in fact, it reminded me too much of the Michelangelo's analysis in the TMNT Battle Royale.
I was thinking that too.
The one thing sorry.
They did, like, a couple times they did do the whole, like, oh yeah, in the comics it's this powerful. Yeah, but actually it's, like, this in the show.
That was actually going to be one thing I wanted to add for it. So, Death Battle in the past have regularly, might have broken their rules a little. Okay, it's no secret, people. There's been a few times Death Battle have broken their own rules to give the loser somewhat of an advantage. Like the TMNT, like Leonardo versus the Red Ranger. They gave him a feat from an alternate universe of Leonardo where he has, like, magic powers and stuff like that.
And just the sword.
Yeah, which, on one hand, that Leonardo's extremely different to your typical hero. In fact, in that universe, he's not even the hero of the team. It's Raphael. Great series,
yeah,
really
Raph
underrated.
is the leader.
Yeah, and Raph's the responsible one. I know it's a bit weird, but I actually recommend people watch Rise of the TMNT. It's really good, especially the film on Netflix. But
I mean, Leonardo is voiced by Sonic.
I can't get over that.
Every time he spoke, I just heard movie Sonic.
Same. But
just the Ben Schwartz.
So why do I bring that up? Because because they could have done similar to that with Aquaman. Like, okay, and they did want to use all his comic feats. But I feel like if you're going, like, very old school comic books, I wouldn't be against if they did give him some pre-crisis feats, because if he's so powerful he can defeat regular Aquaman, What's wrong with giving Super Friends just a little bit of an advantage? Sure, don't give them like New 52, Post-Crisis, or what's the latest DC universe one called?
Oh.
I think it's New something. Alright, well, we'll leave it. I'll put it on screen, people. But yeah, so I wouldn't have been against if they gave Aquaman just a little bit more credit with a few additional feats from the comics. But that's why it kind of threw me off a little bit, and just all his analysis was just, to sum it up, Aquaman shit, pretty much. Now, of course, yeah, we all make fun of Aquaman. There's so many memes about him online, but the thing that I've always respected about Death Battle is their way of giving benefit to even the worst type people. Hell, Homelander got more respect this season than Aquaman did.
Yeah.
The man who sexually assaulted so many women, and listen, I can list off all the things he's done in the boys, but basically he's a fucked up person, yet he was actually given the benefit of the doubt, whereas Aquaman, who's a good person who tries to save the day, was just trashed on.
And they end his analysis with, he's about to die. Yeah.
I didn't like that. Like, I really did not like that, because I mean, I went into this expecting SpongeBob to win anyway, but again, like, what's kind of fun, I can imagine Warner Bros. Just looking at it as like, dude, at least give our guys some credit. You are aware who's giving you your paychecks, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I think Aquaman's analysis rubbed me wrong, but the worst part is I did find some of it funny, but in like a cruel sort of way, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. And as cruel as it was, I did end up laughing when they did the whole, we've run the data through the possibility. One possibility.
That was funny, but I shouldn't have laughed at it.
It's time for Aquaman's funeral!
Yay.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the analysis, I laughed at it, so at least it wasn't boring and shitting on the person. Like the TMNT one with Michelangelo, because if you're a Michelangelo fan, which I'm a little bit of a fan of him, yeah, and I'm a little bit of an Aquaman fan, but more like the modern Aquaman. I've not watched Super Friends, but come on, man, like, at least give him something, and breaking rules a little bit to give him an advantage. And that's all I've really got to say about the analysis, really. It was funny, but I feel like, it could have been reworked to at least, give some respect to the character of Aquaman.
I have a question about Boomstick and the analysis. What was with him and bestiality this episode?
Oh, yeah, with that whole, I did like the fact when they asked if SpongeBob banged Sandy, the little sidebar that's meant to give like information.
Just a giant nope.
Like, it's meant to be the unbiased thing that just comes out of nowhere to correct things, and it was just like, nope. That sidebar has more personality than half the characters did in Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Hey, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Boomstick is just in that kind of mood.
And there's also like the whole, and this guy decided one day he'd bang a fish.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in SpongeBob's case, he's also a sea creature, so it's not too much bestiality. If it was a man on a fish, then yeah, there's something wrong. But yeah, I can't lie, they did kind of push that whole banging thing a bit too much, didn't they?
A little bit. Maybe they should get a sponsor for probably Bang energy drinks at this point.
That's an actual brand.
Well, I mean, Death Battle's also sponsored by Blue Chew a lot, so hey, gotta throw in some sex jokes there.
Do you know what? When they actually showed the Super Friends logo, and I was just looking at it, so I was very curious, like, what was the actual roster for this show? Batman, Robin, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Superman. I was like, okay, yeah, that's typical DC stuff. Who the fuck are the other three guys?
I've only ever heard of them through, like, parodies and Family Guy.
Yeah,
Okay, so the Wonder Twins are twins that can combine together to form separate things. The girl does animals a lot, and the guy does forms of water.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Yes, that's them.
That's all I really know.
I know.
Apache Chief is Apache Chief who grows to the size, who grows to big size. Yes, that's literally his shtick.
You know what? I like Apache Chief, a really underrated character. It's a shame they don't really do much of him in comic books. I think where the whole Native American sort of thing, people are unsure of their representation in media, which I don't get why you wouldn't want them more represented. But yeah, a very interesting roster to say that. I wonder if I should maybe go back and actually watch Super Friends. Maybe that could be like something I do for the YouTube channel where I just react to them.
You should at least watch one episode or one compilation and just see the absolute absurdity that is this cartoon.
Yeah, maybe I will someday. Who knows? I'm always down for watching new things, even if it might appear weird.
It was funny.
Speaking of weird, actually, yeah, Sean brought up all these weaponry that Aquaman has. Death Battle never really took the opportunity to utilize them, which is a shame. So I was really hoping. I was really looking forward to seeing either Storm the Seahorse or the Aquajet, which I did Google up and it looks fucking hilarious. Like, come on, like we could have had like a Patty Wagon versus it or something like that. I don't know, but missed opportunity there, Death Battle. I get it, budget reasons, because have you seen Origins, like all those SpongeBob sprites were custom made, like, man.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Origins based.
And man, so goddamn expressive too.
I know, right? Like, if you were to slow it down, every frame it just gives off so much of SpongeBob's personality. It's great.
I swear, like that I said this in my reaction. That chin scene when he says he saved the city reminded me so much of Joey's chin. And it's Origin who did that. So, and I know he's in the Yu-Gi-Oh.
But yeah, Origin, if you do end up watching this, listen, man, you're giving us way more work than you probably should. like, I remember seeing his first animation on Battle Mode, which was Steven versus Star Butterfly. He's come a long way from that. Like, congrats, man.
If only that was his first animation he did for Death Battle.
That
was his second. He did Power Design.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've talked a lot about the analysis. Have you guys you got any more highlights, or have we all kind of agreed on like the whole way they handled it?
Doodle Whiz.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yes, oh my god. That was
A second.
I mean, Wiz will be fine. He has clones.
that similar to I think Sean's gone. Let's just wait for him and then we'll resume.
Or we could draw a doodle, Sean.
We'll draw a doodle, Sean. I might edit that in on the podcast.
Sorry about that. Paige butt dialed me by accident.
Oh, it's fine, man. Yeah, we were just saying we're going to replace you with Doodle Sean since you walked away. Give us your best.
Do you even draw?
I can draw a little bit. I tell you, Sean, give us your best Inoy.
Minoy.
That was actually really good. That was unironically really good impression of the character.
Thank you.
Alright then, so, alright, let's get rid of, I'm just going to quickly erase Doodle Sean and get the fuck out of here. So, yeah, similar to my outro, the last lads discussed Death Battle. Man, that whole Doodle Whiz thing, yeah, that got pretty graphic really quickly, didn't it? Like...
I mean, Wiz will be fine. He has all those clones.
He does, but I don't see them getting monetized for that one. Dang it, what Death Battle has been monetized? That is true.
Also, didn't Viacom, like, flag the episode?
Oh, are you serious?
I thought I saw something about that. I don't know if it's
I think that was
true,
a meme.
Oh, okay. If it was just a meme, then okay, because I remember that happening with Danny Phantom.
Okay, well, I was going to say, I'm still watching the episode right now, so nothing's happened.
I will say, with Danny Phantom, I think the reason they were able to get that fixed was because of Butch Hartman secretly.
Yeah, I mean, I think he still earns royalties for Danny Phantom, so I suppose it makes sense. Alright, so have we all given our highlights about the analysis and we're ready to dive on in to the episode and see what's about? Their silence says it all.
Are you done making these puns, or are you going to keep dragging us underneath?
Okay, like, with how much Bill groans whenever I Yang, or anybody else makes a pun, when this got announced, you just know he saw it and was like, I have been waiting for this day.
Maybe. Alright, and so... Okay, Alright, so we're moving on to the fight now?
Yeah.
Alright then, so... many Easter eggs, of course, relating to SpongeBob in this fight alone. So...
My leg!
Oh, yeah, I didn't catch that on my reaction first time, but I did hear it on my rewatch of it. Right, I might as well address this now, because some people have, even ZDogg in our private chat was kind of questioning my distastes. I did not like SpongeBob's voice in this fight.
Okay.
Yeah,
I both agree and disagree.
like,
I can definitely see why.
Okay, I will say, when he does the "I've saved the city," like, very accurate, that was so perfect to, like, when SpongeBob does his heroic voice. And again, like Sean pointed out, I love how they designed him. Like, that is a meme face. Also, that map was ripped right out of Battle for Bikini Bottom, which looks like the classic one. I recognise the crater because that's something you have to jump over with when SpongeBob's curled up to the ball, and the statue in the background, because that statue's not in the show. That's only in the game, where it's like some weird fish standing on like an open tuna can, which Bikini Bottom has an interesting deep lore.
Either way,
I mean, there might also be cannibals as well.
I mean, given the last SpongeBob game I played on my channel, that's most likely.
No, and there's also that episode in the show where a bunch of like hot oil gets spilled on so many people, and a guy just goes, "Get your fish sticks here!"
I love that episode.
Like,
people literally got killed, and he served them up.
yeah, he's serving their corpses.
hey, look, man, you gotta make money at the Olympics somehow, because they pay jack shit.
That is true, but first of all, Patrick murdered a whole bunch of people, including children, let me add that. And some guy just straight up had a sign ready to say, "Fish sticks here, get your fish sticks."
And then there's fish eating fish.
Yeah, so I guess there is a bit of cannibalism. Okay, but do you guys want to talk about SpongeBob's voice? Like, 'cause you guys seem to be both agreeing and disagreeing. Mate,
Yeah.
what do you...
Okay. So when I first heard it, I was just like, "Well, that's a different sounding SpongeBob than I'm used to." But I mean, look, you have like the curse of Nolan North, and this is just basically the curse of Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Tom Kenny's voice is really hard to replicate. I can agree with that.
Yeah. Though I will say, the performance is spot on. Like Tom Shulk nails the laugh.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I think that's honestly the more important thing. It's like when Caden did Steven Universe.
I suppose.
Like, performance spot on, even if the voice did sound a little different. Then the performance is the most important part.
I guess. It's just my inner, SpongeBob fandom coming out, like, I love this character so much that even when there's, like, a slight thing wrong with him, my brain's just like, oh, no.
I will say this, like, I think Tom was a good choice, but I think out of the 4 performances we got from him, this was probably his weakest one.
I don't know about that, because SpongeBob, like, just like Mate said, he did carry the personality of the character, and the laugh, well, yeah, I'm not sure the laugh was too great. You can see he's trying his hardest.
Yeah.
Aquaman's voice was terrific, like, because,
yeah.
I don't know what, it reminded me a lot of, when they did the Barnacle Boy and the Mermaid Man episodes, and they would, instead of that typical, the sea, there'll be like some action man being like, in this episode! Yeah.
Of the Super Friends, Aquaman somehow finds himself in Bikini Bottom, more at 11.
But, yeah, like, they'll have a different announcer when the Mermaid Man episode was coming on, and the narrator will be like this epic 80s cliche action hero. That voice, Aquaman kind of gave that voice, I won't lie, and of course, speaking of Mermaid Man, yeah, SpongeBob had to reference the fact that, Aquaman looks exactly like Mermaid Man.
Yeah, this was Keston who voiced Aquaman.
Who's also voiced Captain Falcon. I actually know this one.
And King Mickey.
Yeah, so see people, I know voices too.
I'm glad they got Keston, because, like, yeah, it would have been awesome to have Kaji return as Aquaman, but it's two separate ones.
His Aquaman,
yeah, so I got it.
His Aquaman was really good, though. It carried both the Jason voice, but as well as the personality of the comics.
You are such a terrific dumbass.
Oh man, I'll love it if he says that in the next Aquaman film. So let's. I think we'll spend a lot of time talking about references, but let's actually talk about the actual fight itself. Okay, so
I have a big question about the animation.
Oh yeah?
What were those green portals?
Yeah, even I don't know what the hell that was about. In fact, he comes through it with no context. Like it wouldn't.
Yeah, like when I first saw this in the preview, I was kind of hoping the analysis would explain it, but no, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just portal opens up, he falls out of it. Portals open up, and he can see altered versions of himself because why not?
Do you know what? I'm gonna probably go on a limb here. I've only just thought this now. I wonder if that's a reference to one of the crossover fighting games, not fighting games. So I think this is the first crossover he did with Danny Phantom and Jimmy Neutron and Timmy Turner. How they traveled around was green portals to universes. So I think it could just be a coincidence, but yeah, if you don't know those games though, yeah, you are just going to be wondering, why did Aquaman just go through portals, and why did he know all these other, why did he see these other Aquamans?
I mean, the only other explanation was that either Green Lantern or Rick Sanchez were trolling him.
Yeah. So this
If
fight...
I could do a good Rick impression, like, you know, I'm actually gonna just try and do the voice, just like...
I will judge you.
Well, Aquasuck, you're gonna fight the sponge, dude, and you're gonna fucking die. And here's all these alternate versions. You suck. Have fun, dum-dum.
That was bad.
Yep.
That was terrible.
A for effort.
I'm not going to pretend I could do a good one, but doesn't mean I'm not allowed to criticize the bad one. 6 out of 10. I'll give you a 6 out of 10. Because you got the.
That's more than 5. I'll take it.
Because you got the burp right, so we'll say that much. Okay. Also, the one reference I do want to point out: the moment Aquaman launched the first punch, that is a reference to when Rayman launched at SpongeBob, but the exact same way in one of the episodes. Was it no?
Man Ray?
Yeah, Man Ray. That was it. Man, they need to bring that character back. He was hilarious. And the Dirty Bubble.
Rayman, and for some reason, like that just reminded me of the guy with no limbs.
Yeah, no, I meant Man Ray, a really funny character who's just a basic parody of like your classic comic villains. I mean,
Speaking of like funny shots of Aquaman, though, I gotta ask, when that shot when Aquaman says "Great Neptune," is that actually Keston?
I wonder. But yeah, that close-up shot is a great reference to when they occasionally did those close-up shots in the SpongeBob. Was great. Okay, my only criticism for this fight, this is kind of some of the analysis. Like, Jesus Christ, man, did they really need to like take the piss out of Aquaman even more by showing the more cooler versions?
Yeah.
That just felt...
that moment when he has that like full-on breakdown about how lame he is, and just like, this is kind of uncomfortable to watch.
It really was, wasn't it? Like,
it's weird because like it was sad, yeah, but it's a bit much. I think people were like, "Oh, this is so sad."
Like again.
Anyway.
Yeah. Again, this is kind of what I'm saying about Homeland. Like, Homelander's a piece of shit person, yet he was given more respect in the fight, except for the death, of course, than Aquaman. It's... I don't know, man. That bit... I don't like that bit. But I will admit, though, it did redeem it a bit more with SpongeBob actually feeling bad and trying to give his whole speech about how he's always bullied, but he comes back saying, "I'm ready," which... really in character of SpongeBob, because you know he's not a horrible person. Even like
I do. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to make a comment. Like even in the film Sponge on the Run. As much as I don't like that film, even after this villain stole Gary from him, and everyone that went against the villain and mocked him, and he was crying, SpongeBob still wanted to be his friend just because he was a nice person. So I really like they kept that character because, yeah, SpongeBob's annoying, but he's just so likable. He's such an innocent child. Like, you just gotta love him. And that's all I got to say really for that bit. Yeah, I just really liked that. I think that saved the scene for me. You know, SpongeBob didn't mock him or stuff like that. Which I think if it was any other Versus channel, they would have had SpongeBob out of character mock him.
Probably.
Like,
Yeah.
I've seen that a few times. Not gonna name names, but one of them has a Dragon Ball fanboy who did it to a Justice League character. Just saying. And
Sounds shit.
it was shit. It was incredibly shit. Alright.
What wasn't shit? That ending climax.
Yeah, I'll let you guys talk about it. So I know I've kind of stole the show a bit.
I quickly want to address like another thought I have on the whole like the breakdown and pet talk thing.
Of course.
I think the moment Aquaman gets back up probably could have happened just a bit later. I feel like it would have I don't know. I feel like it would have felt better if he gets up after the I'm ready.
Yeah, do you know what? I could actually see it. In fact, I think that would have made the whole let the best superhero win.
I mean, it's just a minor thought.
No, I agree. Right, so let's actually get to the climax of the fight because I was really expecting.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I was really expecting it to end with them like I don't know why I thought it would be like Hulk versus Broly. They were going to start battling in space, but I mean, given the characters, that wouldn't actually be likely. But yeah, I just did not expect SpongeBob to go Superman flying through space.
From the other side of the universe.
Yeah, so great.
Yeah. How many of you knew that was Liam the moment you heard it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He did a good voice of the narrator though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Popeye is the SpongeBob narrator.
Speaking of surprising voice acting, did any of you catch who voiced the Doodlebobs and the My Leg guy?
I thought they just reused voice lines.
No.
Who was voicing them?
Zach.
Oh really?
Oh really?
I noticed that when I went to edit my reaction. I pointed it out. No one said anything. Zach. I was like, they got an animator to do a voice acting role, and we're gonna say Jack Squat.
Huh.
Man, to be honest, similar to SpongeBob's voice, like Fred's my leg. Like no one can ever recreate that 100%, but Zach did pretty good. I will give him credit.
And he was
Yeah,
also all those Doodlebobs.
I will also just throw out there, if they didn't have the my leg joke, huge disappointment.
Yeah. Okay, I've just got past finishing the fight. I just realised when SpongeBob's pulling the threads, he kills a fisherman. And the fisherman just looks so scared, like, oh no, I'm being erased.
He erased the whole universe and killed everyone.
I mean,
Well,
that's true.
Almost everyone.
Except Patrick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to look up this episode, because did they at least bring everyone back?
It's the cartoon, so the answer's yes, but
Because it's
going
during the
back to the
credits scene.
climax.
I need to look that up.
It was probably like next episode, everyone's back. Why? It's a cartoon,
Toon Force. I ain't got to explain shit.
basically.
I will say, though, going back to the climax, I love that shot of Aquaman just having the entire ocean go towards SpongeBob.
Oh, and slight detail. One of the sharks eats a jellyfish.
Yeah, I did notice that my second viewing. Rip that jellyfish.
I also love the fact that after, like, the death, SpongeBob makes the grave, but he still gets Aquaman's name wrong.
You know,
Yeah.
I thought it would have just been like that. It would have hit that little bit harder in the sweet factor if that's when he finally got the name right.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, it's a reference to the theme that plays at the end of the film, so...
I know. I'm just saying, like, if they wanted to like hit that little bit harder with like the oh, that's sweet, sort of thing. I feel like him finally getting the name right probably would have done it.
To be fair, I'm actually pretty sure that was the name of the fight track for this episode.
Oh, it was.
Ocean Men.
It kind of, yeah, John, you're right. But, I will admit, this episode's also making me realise a lot of the Death Battle winners have been paying more respect to the losers as of lately, which, I don't know, I kind of like that. Obviously not the villains, because I don't see Doctor Doom paying respect to Lex Luthor.
He was about to, but then he goes, beneath me.
Yeah.
That's what your power is.
Because he's Doom. Alright, so other highlights.
And I mean, Thorn, like, he already killed Goku Black and then threw him into the sun for good measure.
Yeah, so, yeah, but I do like a lot of the more heroic characters are paying respect to, their fallen opponents. And they're not as hilarious as one episode that I'm too scared to mention. Because some people were... we'll go into that when we're doing the ranking list, but... Yeah, one thing I also did kind of like, I'm not sure if you guys ever caught this, when they're saying, oh, I'll be a real superhero Gooby Goober, did you know it was like Aquaman, when he did his like whole ocean punch, he actually surprised SpongeBob when they were doing like the side-by-side?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, like, look, showing a nod that, when SpongeBob's on screen, he's aware of the fourth wall. That was a nice little touch. As for the death itself, okay, on one hand, they recreated that
Aquaman didn't feel so good.
Ouch.
I'm surprised no one else has made that joke.
God damn, mate.
But first of all, I love that they recreated that nuke explosion that usually happens at least at some point during the season of SpongeBob. How many times has that?
I don't think that was a recreation. I think that's just the footage.
Well, you know what I meant though, that they referenced that explosion, which... How many times has that area of the ocean been nuked? How do you think the government must feel when they have to go on their radar like, sir, this area of the ocean got blown up again? But yeah, I knew that was, the killing blow, but as much as it was a cool reference, and then we see Aquaman vaporizing, which I'm not sure, I don't really get that. Like, why did he just start turning to ash?
He got hit that hard.
Yeah, but
Turned to a crisp.
Okay, yeah, but
after
he
getting...
he was still solid enough though to say, "Let's be super friends, Blair." If you're still able to move your body around that, and you don't turn to ash, I don't know. It's a bit weird.
I don't know, cartoon logic.
I suppose, but I will say the death itself. Not the best. I've been kind of thinking this for a while. Aside a few, golden gems, majority of the deaths this season have been a bit off for me, and this is just adding to that list. Sure,
I mean,
cool explosion,
fair,
but that's about it really. The explosion was the cool part.
I mean, to be fair, I think we can still agree that Hercules had the worst one technically.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that was the worst death.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but this is, I was kind of thinking they could have done. Now that I think about it, I don't really know what they could have done with SpongeBob that would have been in character with SpongeBob, because seeing SpongeBob go bloody and brutal just isn't in character. But you know what? Overall, I think this episode was really good. I loved the amount of references, and analysis-wise, it was funny, but a bit mean-spirited. That's my only gripe with this episode. I think this episode's a solid 9 out of 10, but if it wasn't for the mean-spirited side, I probably would say this is the best episode this season.
I do think that, sorry about that. I do think that it was the funniest episode of this season. But the whole mean-spirited thing does kind of hit the episode a lot.
Yeah, like people, we love it. Like, we think the episode's good. It's just because of the whole Aquaman mistreatment thing. Because let's put us in the shoes of like any other matchup, like any matchup that we like. If it was just trashing the other character, then we would also feel the same way. Like, if Omni-Man versus Homelander was just them saying, "Oh, Omni-Man's gonna stomp Homelander, and Homelander's the worst and weakest character here," then I don't think that episode would be as high up for me as it is now. You know, like the whole. I always look at stomp fights like if it is one-sided. One, don't be afraid to break the rules a little bit to give the loser a bit of an edge if possible. Like, just like as they brought up there was clearly Comet feats a continuation from Super Friends. So why not just, you know, break the rules a bit and give them those feats? Again, if it doesn't, if they didn't say SpongeBob beats comic Aquaman, I wouldn't be that griped about it. But because they think, oh, he totally does, I really felt like they could have broken the rules a little bit there.
Well, not just comics Aquaman they just brought up, and that's why he beats Goku.
Yeah, that part was funny.
That was funny. And they used that classic. The person that made that PNG all those years ago is looking at that like, hey, look, that's mine. Just Leonardo DiCaprio, just like, oh, that meme.
That's the second analysis where they brought up, yeah, this person could probably beat Goku.
Deathbat, are you hinting at Goku's returning? Or are you just trying to piss off Goku fans?
They've also referenced Yu-Gi-Oh! In a couple ways, where they summoned Superman and Goku.
Oh, God. Do you think this season we could be getting Goku vs Superman friend? I honestly, I would both be excited for that, but also scared.
I mean, I was thinking about it for next season because it's season 10.
Oh, man.
Who knows? All I do know is that this is just a mind-boggling Toon episode that was made pretty well, and I'm glad ZDogg was happy with it.
Yeah, oh yeah, the reception this episode's received is so positive. Like, in just 24 hours, it is almost at 1 million views. So, it's clearly done well. And, you know, I don't usually talk about thumbnails when it comes to Deathbat. I will admit, though, this thumbnail is pretty boring. I won't lie. Also, Aquaman looks an awful lot like Fred from Scooby-Doo in Super Friends.
Oh my god, he does!
I didn't even...
It's either he...
I didn't even think about that
gang.
Wait, hold on.
Gang. We gotta set a trap for this sponge.
Wait, don't the Super Friends have a dog as well?
Oh my god. Is this secretly Scooby-Doo crew in the future?
Okay, wait, so...
Oh my
Fred is Aquaman, Scooby's the dog. Does that mean Daphne is Wonder Woman? Robin could be Shaggy.
Oh no, Shaggy has to be Superman.
Somehow I knew you were going to say that.
Come on, man.
Who would be Velma? Wait, Batman is Velma. They're both smart.
I mean, in multiverses, they do complement each other for their detective skills. I mean, when Batman says you're a good detective, you know what? You take that and you put that on a plaque. Alright, so we've kind of gone on for a while about this episode. So, my final thoughts. Funny episode. It is the funniest episode this season. I feel sorry for Aquaman because not just for the fact he lost, but also I just felt like the Death Battle team was just a bit too mean on him, really. I get it. This Aquaman's parodied all the time, but Death Battle's always kind of done that thing where they've paid respect to both characters. Occasionally, we ignore the Michelangelo section, especially when they use the hard R. But yeah, even in the most one-sided of fights, they at least gave some credit to the losers. Whereas this one, not so much. So it kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. But overall, I like this episode, and I'm really happy it's received such a positive reception. And that's all I've got to say. That's all I've got for that episode. What about you guys? Do you have any final says?
I'm good.
I agree with Billy. Soundtrack was also pretty okay.
Oh yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah, to be honest, it's a fight. It's a soundtrack that's just good for the fight, really.
Yeah, I mean it amps up near the end.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah. So, all around, it was great. Wish they didn't need to shit on Aquaman so much. But, you know, it's whatever at the end of the day. Still pretty solid.
Yeah. And, do you know what else is solid? A human skull. And given these two fighters next, they've cracked a few skulls themselves.